All right, so we're kind of sticking with the retro kind of topics here. Bob, you have a pretty good topic. Why don't you tell them?
So, with the SNES Classic coming out tonight, tomorrow, that's where we sit in this week, just so people understand where we're recording at. I just wanted to know, because this has been talked about a lot, but I just wanted everybody's opinion here and to kind of voice some of my opinions as well. But what games would you have liked to see been on the SNES Classic? Like, what I would like you to do is say what game you would want on there and what game you would pull off. Like, so if you can't just go like, oh, I like this, and this. If you do that, you need to pull a game off as well. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to go, what game is not working for me? This game I would rather have there. So I will start with Giuseppe. Go ahead, Joe.
All right. No, this was a good question. I was like, I know this first one I'm going to say is probably going to ruffle a lot of feathers. Killer Instinct. Get Street Fighter 2 Turbo out of here.
Killer Instinct, yes.
Yeah.
Wait. Killer Instinct wasn't on the Super.
Yeah, it was on the
No.
Super Nintendo.
It was on the Super Nintendo.
Oh, wasn't it? They had that. That's right. It was at the end. That's right. You're right. My bad.
Yeah,
I thought it was
man.
in 64. It
That
was
black
in
cartridge.
It was in 64 as well, though, right?
Yeah, they had a Killer Instinct 64 also.
That's
yeah,
right. You're right.
But
Okay.
oh my gosh, yeah,
Yeah,
I
but-
loved Killer Instinct.
Should
It
we-
was so good. What's up?
Okay, let's do this. We're gonna say it's. This is fantasy, so it can be anything. We're not going to limit things because technically, it would never happen because Microsoft owns it. But
Yeah,
this is for
that's true.
just for this. We're just going to go. It's fantasy and anything's open. So okay. So
Okay,
why
good.
would you put? Okay, so you would put Killer Instinct in, and you would take the Street Fighter game out.
Yep. Yeah.
I agree because didn't we just play Street Fighter on the Switch?
Yep.
And
the PS4 and the PS3 and the 360 and the
Yeah.
Xbox One.
yeah.
That's true. I prefer Street Fighter over Killer Instinct. I would probably take out Super Punch Out for Killer Instinct.
What are you on drugs?
I'm sorry, Bob. I knew I was gonna.
And I'm with you with the Street Fighter thing. I love Street Fighter, but man, Killer Instinct was such a solid game on the Super Nintendo.
And we can kind of go in a little circle here, and we'll maybe do a couple of them. But for me, the first one that I would remove, and this is the one that everybody talked about, and this is the one that I've talked about numerous times, but I just want to throw it in here since we're having the conversation. I'd pull out Secret of Mana, and I'd put in Chrono Trigger. I feel like Chrono Trigger is the much better game. I feel like all that Square did was they tried to use this as an advertising tool for their remake that they're doing, and that's all. Now that it's all the cards are laid on the table, I think that's all they did. They wanted people to go because I feel personally we're getting a better version of Secret of Mana than PlayStation fans. I don't feel like that version does anything really for me. I like what the original Secret of Mana looks like and plays like. Again, pixel art. You don't need to do anything flashy with it. It's beautiful. Like, leave it alone, man. Don't touch games like that, in my opinion. If it was on the Sony PlayStation 1, go ahead, fix it up. That's why you're doing, Final Fantasy VII Remake. But for me, Secret of Mana didn't need to be touched. And for me personally, I would pull Secret of Mana out. I put Chrono Trigger in there because I feel like that's the better game. Joe, you got another one?
Yeah, I would go, and this goes against the whole sequel thing that we do, right? That they've been doing. But if they put Mega Man 2 on the NES Classic, we should take out Donkey Kong Country and put Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Conquest in there.
You think that's a better one?
Oh, yeah. Miles. I love that one. The way Diddy and Dixie work is perfect.
Yeah. Patrick, what about you?
So you're gonna think I'm a little crazy.
I already think that before. I don't need
So
this
I would
answer to convince me at all.
I would actually take off two of my favorite franchises. I would take off the first Star Fox and just have Star Fox 2 because I really don't see the point. Like, Star Fox 2 is a better game, I think, what it looks like. And I would also take off Kirby's Dream Course because you have the Kirby game. I don't like the double thing.
Yeah.
And for the first replacement, I would either put in Super Tennis, nice little sports game. It was like a launch game for the SNES, or NBA Jam. Come on.
Oh, You got me with NBA Jam. You got me with NBA Jam. Absolutely.
He's on fire.
Absolutely. That game was a phenomenal, man. Yeah, I'd be all about it. I feel like that one gets left out only because
the
sports licensing.
Yeah.
Because I think that if that's the case, then I would want Ken Griffey Jr. baseball in there. But I don't think that can't go just because of the fact of the licensing. So for me, I would personally boot both Kirby's, but whatever. But I would take one of the Kirby's out.
Dang.
I would put a little game in there called ActRaiser. And ActRaiser was such a great game. It's another Square game before it was Square Enix and all that stuff. And this game basically was a side-scrolling beat-em-up, similar to like your Castlevanias and all that stuff. But you also had like this sim setup overhead. So you were God, essentially. And what would happen is you would float around and you would build the town back from chaos. And you would go into these churches, you would peek into the church, and the people would be there praying to you and telling you what they need. And then you go and you do it. And there's like these demons that come out and you kill them and do all this crazy stuff. But then you transform into your body, you're like a humanoid body, and then you go into the side-scrolling side and go and do some attacks and kill the monster that's taking over that area. And then you can move on to the next area and try to save that area. Such a good game, man. It's really a great game, so...
And the other one I just wanted to mention, one of my favorite games on the whole console, I think it's mostly because of licensing and stuff, but the Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. That was one of mine on my list. Yeah.
One of my favorite games, dude. Yeah. And I would probably get out like Super Ghouls or, like I said, you don't need Star Fox 1.
I don't think you need Star Fox 2, if I'm being fair. I get why they put it in there. But it's only, my understanding, it's only like a 10-15 minute game. It's not, or like a 10, I'm sorry, not 10-15 minute, like a 10-15 hour game. It's not very long at all.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, Star Fox 64 is what this game was supposed to be. You know what I mean? This game was supposed to be Star Fox 64.
Yeah, bits and pieces of it, yeah.
And Nintendo was like, this isn't the way we're going. We want to show off this new polygon stuff we're doing. We're going to take this game over to the N64 to showcase the N64. I don't think that game... I don't think either of those games really belong on there. Because I don't feel like that's the strong Star Fox game. That's not the game that made people fall in love with Star Fox. Star Fox 64 is. In my opinion.
Yeah.
So for me, I would just be like, both of those could really come off. And then you could put other stuff in there in its stead. I don't understand why Super Mario All-Stars wasn't on this thing.
Yes.
Because, to me, you had a cartridge that came out that was Super Mario All-Stars plus Super Mario World. And that would have been, to me, the ideal cartridge or the ideal game to put on this. I just feel like that is the pinnacle of games. Like, that has all... Because those versions, that was the first true, let's say, HD remake, you know what I mean, back in the day. And, like... Mm-hmm. The graphics just look great. Like it did. Like I sit here and I go like, well, you don't really need to update Secret of Mana, but like they just took pixel art and made it better pixel art. They didn't go and like do anything flashy to it. So I feel like that would be the answer to to like put that cartridge in there. Well, that game. I don't understand why that game wasn't in there. It drove me crazy.
Any more, Joe?
I thought that was interesting. Yeah. While we're beating up on Kirby earlier, I would take out Kirby's Dream Course as well.
Okay.
Give me some Mario Paint. They could have done one controller, the mouse. Come on, man. The fly game that's hidden in there, making the oh my god. That's like what got me started in making music. Like that game alone.
Dude, let me tell you what, man. You can go on YouTube and look up Mario Paint music, and people do full on songs, and it is so good, man.
Insane.
It is so good. So good.
Yeah.
Earthworm Jim too. I love that game.
Yeah, that's a good game.
That was a good one. That was a hard game.
Yeah.
Hard game.
Yeah. Do
you guys think?
Good.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go.
No, go ahead.
Do you guys think that they're gonna keep up the trend of? I don't because I don't really know if they have unreleased N64 games. Do you think N64 Classic might shock us with a release or something?
No, I don't think so. I mean, think about it. What Well, on the NES Classic, what was the reason they put Star Tropics on there? And what else did they put on there that was really like, was there anything that was like unreleased?
Nothing that screen. No. Oh no, there wasn't anything unreleased.
Yeah.
As far as I.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is the first one that they're doing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, it makes it a incredibly collectible thing, because I think if Star Fox 2 wasn't on here, I wouldn't have as much interest. Like, it's just weird. It's not every day you get to play a game that was never supposed to see the light of day. I mean,
yeah. And that I get. That part I get, and I understand why people are hyped about it. You know what I mean? Like, that part I get totally. It just does nothing for me personally. And again, let me preface something. Like, because I say it doesn't work or whatever, that's my opinions. Doesn't mean that I don't think it should be on there. I think it should be on there because for every me, there's a Patrick that goes like, hey man, this is the appealing thing to me. So, what's appealing to me is, because I was when it first announced it, I got excited, and then as time went on, especially when they announced the games, my excitement went down a little bit, because I thought, like, man, I would rather have 30 games again, and like really give me some of these great classic games. Like, I would have loved to have Final Fantasy 2 on there, and even I would rather have Final Fantasy 2 and Final Fantasy 3 over Secret of Mana. Like, that would have been my direction if I picked and choose and stuff. So, I look at it and I go, like, there's some great games, but there's also some games that are just missing. And that's what I learned from the NES Classic as well. Like, I played it, and I played it for a while, and I was just like, man, I just want to go play other games that aren't here. So I went and bought a Retron HD so I could play and go buy games that I want to play again, So we'll see. We'll see how it all works out.
I feel like overall, though, I mean, they do have less games, but I feel like they picked some pretty amazing games. Like, I'm not the biggest NES fan, and there was, like, they had 30 games, but like half of them I didn't even have interest in playing, to be completely honest. But like this console coming out, I'm gonna try every game. I mean, I've played mostly every one of those games, but I don't really see a throwaway game in there. I know your boy Toby loves Dream Course, but I'm not the biggest Dream Course fan. I think it's hot trash.
Be careful, man. Be careful.
Oh, man.
Toby will be flying over here trying to get him some Patrick. At the end of the day, I'm excited for this thing. What I want to know is this: how long do you think it takes for this thing gets hacked and we get like 800 games on the thing?
Oh, it's already hacked.
How?
Someone already has. Yeah, the people that have like review copies and stuff. It's already been hacked. One of my buddies already says that. That it's already hackable.
Did you hear that this is literally the NES Classic but with a different shell?
Yep, it's the same. It's the same.
It's software, the same. Dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
No wonder they hacked it then.
Yeah. You look at the layout. You go into the I've seen a couple unboxings already, and they open it up and they played the game. I was like, oh, it's the NES layout, the NES Classic layout. It's the same exact thing.
Oh my god.
I would assume that they would have to switch it up a little bit if they're gonna go into like N64 or beyond.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think. Yeah.
Here's my question: do you guys like the rewind feature?
No.
I feel like it's cheating, man.
I can live without it. I mean, it's a cool thing. It's a neat thing, and I can see people using it. I mean, I'm fine with save states.
I just feel like if I'm gonna play this game, I want to play it in the natural way that like they intended me to play it. Like balls hard, man. Like these games back in this era were so unforgiving. You didn't get like checkpoints midway through stages on Mario and stuff like that. Like, that stuff didn't exist, man. Super Mario World was the start of all that. Like, in 1, 2, and 3, like, you didn't get that. It was like, dude, either you finish or you die, and that's it, man. We go back to the beginning, So it's crazy to think that you can't, they put this rewind. But, like, here's my thing. The save states was a big enough cheat to then go, okay, we're gonna make it so you can rewind 2 seconds and then continue. Like, that whole bald bull thing where he gets knocked down and then he like rewinds it so he gets back up and then he knocks bald bull down. I'm like, damn, that was cheap as hell, man.
think about it though, I could see it from two perspectives too. I feel like that's a great way to figure out strategies for speedrunners.
True.
And I wonder if that's a feature that's going to be in future virtual console titles for the Switch down the road. I wonder if they're using this to test out what the virtual console will look like down the road.
It's possible.
All these all these young kids that think they're good at video games, pick up an SNES. Pick up an NES and try to freaking beat those.
Anybody that thinks they're good, I dare you to pick up an NES, pick up Ghouls and Ghosts or Ghosts and Goblins, and then talk to me. Because that game will beat you down. Like, Dark Souls, nothing. Like, that's the original Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Like, that game is just so hard. And then you get to the end, and I don't know how the hell you beat the final boss, the devil, Lucifer, or, the devil, and then they go, oh, no.
No.
And they'll go all the way back to the beginning and do it again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how you learn life. Life's just not fair.
Unforgiving.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that kind of made me cry inside.
So, I think that's all, right?
Yeah, I think we're good, guys. So that was episode 2 of the Planet Nintendo podcast. You guys have any other final words to say?
I don't have anything final to say other than the fact that, like, check us out. Hopefully this weekend on iTunes. We should be available on dayspace.com. We should be on Google, all that good stuff. Just follow our Twitters because we will make the announcement as soon as it goes up and all that stuff.
Also, one more thing. I almost forgot. Bobby, congratulations. 1K subscribers, man.
Thank you.
Last show, you were still under there, but yes. I'm glad. I was in the live stream. I caught it.
I was happy, dude. I was happy I was live streaming when it happened. That was kind of... Because that moment is embedded. Like, it's there. Like, I can go back and watch it anytime to see my reaction and all that. And like, I want to say this. You're at 1,000. I'm at 1,000. Can we get Joe to 1,000?
Please.
Like, that's what I want. I want everybody that's listening, everybody that's
bugging.
A fan of mine, is a fan of Patrick's. Like, not only do we need you guys to, like, subscribe to Joe, but we need him to start getting some love and some support. Like, start watching his videos. Go to Twitch stream and follow him on Twitch. If you like streaming, he streams over there. So that would be awesome, and I would really love you guys if you guys could do that a little bit, because dude, he does good content, and his streams are really good, man. Seriously, like, he voice acts the streams, like, that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like, when
loosely,
he's playing the game, loosely, but he can actually read, unlike me, so it's perfect. Like, he's not illiterate like me, stumbling over words.
Oh my God.
So where Joe actually, not only does he read them, but he reads them in different voices. Like, it's awesome. It's awesome.
We got a good group over here. So,
yes, we do.
Bobby, Nintendo Guru, YouTube channel, Joe After Work. Joe After Work also on Twitch, right?
Yeah.
It's all everywhere.
And of course, if you're watching the video version, you're already, unfortunately, at my channel. go check out some other stuff. But yeah, awesome episode, guys. Thank you so much again, and we'll have that audio version up this week. Friday will be the full version. And happy Odyssey month, guys.
Peace out, Preston.
Support Chibi Art.